Hello boys of class 8. Welcome to you in another online class of religion. I am Abhichitra sir. As we have finished our total syllabus, now let us start from the beginning for the revision. Today we will go through chapter 1, that is nature of God. I will make you realize about all the topics from this chapter by one. So let us start to these topics. Our today's topic is nature of God, that means how God is expressed and what is living beings things about God and how he expressed himself to the creation. God is one and absolute. This thing means that there is no other person which is comparable to God, and he is the omnipresent thing in the universe. As we know, God has created this universe and he controls all the things of the universe. He has burst of powers, and his powers sometimes expressed by some other characteristics. Those are known as gods and goddesses, but then also he is not comparable to any other thing. There is no one which is equal or more than God. He is one, and there is no other comparison of him. God is directing this universe through a system, and this system maintained by him. Everything that is following rules and regulations, also directed by him. Without a central controller, all the things of this universe would not be able to run systematically. The existence of God can be proved through meditation and impression and wisdom of a human being. God has no form, but when he expresses his such power through anything, then he takes some forms. He is everywhere. He present in everywhere and for all time. That's why God is said absolute. He is the truth, and he is bless. He blesses the virtuous. So one and absoluteness of God is the main characteristics of God. Now let us know another topic, and that is about how he can different in characteristics. God as Brahma. God has various names, and we call him by different names, like Brahma, which is actually called Supreme Soul, that means main of all souls. The sages have imagined God as Brahma or Supreme Soul and explained his nature. According to Hindu religion, the universe is created by Brahma, and Brahma is omnipresent, almighty, creator of all living beings and inanimate objects. Whatever is occurring in this universe, everything is directed by him. He is the main cause of universe. As we know, Brahma is formless. There is a symbolic word Om, which sometimes sages say expressed as Brahma. Brahma is called truth also. Brahma is the sign of joy. Our joy is the joy of Brahma. So, he is called Supreme Soul. God can be expressed in another or another characteristic, that is Isha. When Brahma governs over all the living beings and directs and conducts all works of living beings, then he is called Ishar. The shapeless Ishar has created himself for his own contentment according to his own desire. That means when God's different characteristics takes shapes, then it is only for his desire. God himself is the incarnation. When God comes down to the earth to subdue the devils and establish justice and discipline, he is called incarnation. In our religion, we know that God has taken 10 incarnation, such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Ram, Nrsimha, Sri Krishna, and some others. When any characteristics of God takes bodily shape, then we know that that is called gods or goddesses. Like Devi Durga is the power, goddess of power. Devi Saraswati is the goddess of education or knowledge. Goddess Vishnu is the power of nourishment. So different shape God takes for different characteristics, but basically God is one and everything belongs to one. Now let us know another characteristics of God. God as Bhagavan. Another name of love, of affection or fascination, all the living beings are involved in the net of his affection, is called Bhagavan. The word Bhaga means wealth or virtue. God has 6 virtues: wealth, heroism, fame, beauty, wisdom, stoicism. Since God has 6 Bhaga or virtues, that's why he is called Bhagavan. That means all these virtues belongs to God. That is why he is also known as Bhagavan. Bhagavan responds to his devotees and acts accordingly. So, what we have seen, God, when he is formless, then he is Brahma. God, when takes some forms and have directed us through different powers, then they are known as, then he is known as Ishar. And when God is the source of all virtues, then he is called Bhagavan. Now, God is also called as soul. Why? Because we know every soul is a part of Supreme Soul, and part of Supreme Soul is also part of God. As we know, God is also known as Supreme Soul. So, in every human being, living beings, he is present as soul. That means God is present in every living beings. In this way, God is also expressed through soul. So there are four forms of God actually. One is Brahma, one is Ishar, Bhagavan, and soul. But for different type of devotee, God has different form. Now let us know about these things. God in the eyes of wise. That means how wise person see God as those who live desire for worldly pleasures and enjoyment, do worships omnipresent and formless Brahma, be happy with their own soul, are called wise. That means they don't have any desire from the world, they do work for only God, and they worship the formless shape of God, that is Brahma. The wise believe that God is Brahma who has created this universe. As we earlier said or discussed that Brahma has created this universe. So in the eyes of wise, Brahma is the supreme thing, and as he created this universe, so they believe that God is Brahma. The wise men work for living beings, and for achieving love of God. They do it through the yoga of wisdom. Wisdom means to know, yoga means to unite it. So the word wise means man who is united to know anything. So the person who united to know anything is known as wise. There are two kinds of wisdom. One is vidya, that is learning, and another one is avidya, that is ignorance. That means you can learn or you can ignore. On the other hand, learning and ignorance are known as para, which is supreme, and apara, that is illusory. Through knowledge of worldly affairs is acquired through avidya, knowledge of Brahma is not acquired through it. So in the scripture, the word wise means the man having knowledge in soul or Brahma. So the person who has the knowledge of soul or Brahma is called wise. Now let us see second type of devotee. In his eyes, God, how they think about God. And the second type of devotee is called ascetic or yogi. Those who seek God with all their heart and soul, leave all their desires, are called yogi. That means they are not live in the society. They sacrifice all their desire, and their main objective is to achieve God. Wise person can live in a family. They can have some their desire or fulfill their desire, but yogi or ascetic can't have any desire. In the eye of ascetic, God is the supreme soul. That means God is superior to others, everything. The supreme soul exists in living being as soul. So every living being is a part of God. The great ascetic and wise Swami Vivekananda mentioned that everything of this universe is multiform exposing of God, and here it is his eternal speech. Jibe prem kore jeijan, seijan seviche Ishwar. So if you are serving living beings, that means you are serving the God. Now let us see the third type devotee, and that is called devotee. And in the eyes of devotee, God is almighty. That means he has the supreme power. Living in domestic life and involving in the earthly works are called the devotees. The devotees feel the presence of God in all living beings. That means they feel that all living beings are part of God and they treat them as God. God is Bhagavan to devotee. So, to ascetic, God is Supreme Soul. To devotee, God is Bhagavan. And to wise, God is like Brahma. So, we can easily see in eyes of different type of devotee, God has different form, different shape. So, this is nature of God to different devotee. So boys, just go through these lessons, and if you have any question then let me know. So bye for today.